Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Channel M6. I'm your host, Joe Moody, today. What are we going to talk about today? How about a proper wine pour? What's a proper wine pour? How hard is it to pour wine out of a bottle into a glass? It's not hard at all. But to determine how much to pour into a glass, that's something to consider that we wineries and tasting rooms have to think about. The proper pour, or the standard pour, unless it's announced otherwise, like on a menu. The normal pour of wine will be 5 ounces. That's determined by the governing authorities based on the amount of alcohol found in a bottle of wine, a bottle of table wine, that is. A table wine is a wine under 14% alcohol by volume, and 5 ounces of a table wine is roughly equivalent to the same alcohol in a beer or in a pour of hard liquor, an ounce and a half or a shot of hard liquor. So the authorities have determined that a standard pour of wine would be 5 ounces. So what does 5 ounces of wine look like? Well, I have pre-measured into this beaker 5 ounces of our house sangria, just so you can see, because I've used a dark wine. We have several wine glasses. So what does it look like in a glass? We have a dessert glass here that we serve with our dessert wines, our port style wine, I should say, and our dessert wine. 5 ounces in this 5.5 ounce glass is going to almost fill it up. So that looks like a pretty generous pour, even though it's 5 ounces. Let's take this same amount of wine and pour it into our 6.5 ounce taster, if I can do it without spilling it. And it still almost fills up the glass. We use this in our tasting room for our group tastings, and it is a nice glass, has our emblem on it. You can see what 5 ounces looks like in this glass. I'm hiding my face from you, aren't I? This is a typical white wine glass. It holds 12 3/4 ounces of fluid. So we use this with our white wines, and what this looks like is about a half glass. Not quite half glass, but it's at a very nice spot in the glass. You can see it's at the wide point in the glass, or approximately there too. We have a red wine glass that we serve, which is slightly larger. This holds almost 16 ounces of fluid, and a pour of wine in this glass is not near halfway full, although it is at the wide portion of the glass. I have heard described by glass manufacturers that many glasses are designed for the proper pour in a glass to fit at the widest part of the glass, especially for a red wine, because you want this wine to open up. You want it exposed to the air and to the oxygen so you can experience the bouquet and let this wine aerate. And so that's the demonstration on normal glasses of wine. Now let's say you had an abnormal glass of wine, or a glass, and I've already shown you, this one, and my wife has her favorite glass of wine, and although I'm going to get in a lot of trouble for this, this is what 5 ounces looks like in her glass. It looks like that's what's left over when I finish a glass of wine. So 5 ounces in my glass, or 5 ounces in her glass? Let me pull this back, make them even. I'm not holding this close to the camera either. I mean, this is a glass of wine. Look at it, it's up my head. Okay, am I gonna get in trouble or what? Y'all bail me out, okay?